Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 35. 35.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds GQ, right. A wrestling podcast.
Yep.
We're getting started a little bit later than we normally would, so
thanks, Garrett.
We're just going to kind of hop right into it. But going to need everyone to stay tuned to the end of the podcast, the end of the video, very end. We have a huge announcement. That is going to change the face of the wrestling podcast universe.
That's a lot.
So
that's a lot.
Stay tuned.
That's a lot.
And we will announce it right before we jump into our socials at the end of the show. Woo! And as I always say, here we go.
Welcome back to another episode of GQ, a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
My name is Justin. That is Garrett.
Yeah.
I wore a really retro Seth Rollins shirt. I almost wore my Beast Killer shirt, but then it's very insensitive nowadays, so I can't really wear that much one anymore.
Why?
I just feel gross wearing it.
But it's killing Brock.
It's Beast Slayer. It's old Seth's shirts. The only one that's in my closet that I'm really ashamed of is that guy. That's sitting in there.
The Vince McMahon shirt?
I wanted the one when he got arrested. I wanted the one that had his face on it. That was the old mugshot photo. You know what I'm talking about too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
your $5 Phil shirt.
Yes, my $5 Philip shirt. So there's a lot of stuff that happened this week in the wrestling world.
We're not even gonna cover our weeks like we normally do.
We're diving straight in.
There's just a ton of shit.
Woo! So, wrestling went to Vegas and wanted to do a little preview of WrestleMania kind of thing. And
well, it was the presser for the kickoff for the road to WrestleMania.
First one they've ever done. Never done anything like it. So first. I wasn't impressed. I would say it was weird because they've never done it before. You could tell they've never done it before. It was a little on the confusing side. The panel of people, which there was a petition after the panel of people that we need to have Big E as a commentator up behind the announce desk because of how good he did behind the commentary table.
So I would like to see him and Booker T do NXT.
What? Yeah. What? Oh yeah, I love it.
Who?
I love it. Well, who is Booker's co?
Vic Joseph.
Vic does a good job. I like Vic, but you have to have a guy that can do play-by-play like Vic, and I don't know if Big E's your guy to be able to do play-by-play.
Here's an idea. Let's get rid of Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah. I know you loathe him. So
I think Big E and Michael Cole would be fun.
Well, I think Michael Cole's on the end of his run.
I think so too.
I think they're going to have to do some really big auditions to get somebody that is like Michael Cole, who's been with the company for 30 plus years at this point.
Michael Cole or
that was vicious.
Corey Graves will become the new voice of the WWE.
Well, that's why they're giving him his first shot at it, doing SmackDown with Wade, which Wade and him are perfect. I've loved the last 2 weeks of Wade and with Corey doing it together. No, I think Big E did a great job. It was Big E, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole,
Punk.
Yeah, the four. And with his gigantic bionic elbow guard
thing, yeah.
And it's funny, he's like, oh, how was the surgery? He goes, I haven't had it yet. Then why are you wearing that? Wear a sling. You don't need to wear that big, giant monstrosity on your arm.
Why hasn't he had surgery yet?
They've pushed it off to find, like, that. It's their surgeon in Atlanta that they go to. They haven't had...
You mean the surgeon in Alabama?
Alabama, that's it.
Alabama!
No, they've pushed it back again. It's not that he's like going to wrestle at WrestleMania or anything, but it's just they haven't had the time slot. Plus, it's not like a quick. We need to get this done now so he can be on a pay-per-view.
Just cut the arm off; it'll be fine.
Bionic arm?
No.
Oh.
No, just a
just a and then a stub.
Yeah.
Nub?
Like Voldemort's face.
Random thing, speaking of injuries. So my sister, and she's approved this. Just so we're clear.
Okay.
She's approved this. So she called me, and it involves a wrestling injury. She said, I think I did something wrong to my chest. I go, what'd you do? She goes, I don't know, but I heard something pop and I felt it tear. And I go, what did you do? She was trying to get off the couch, like she was moving her arm like this, and right here she felt something pop and tear. And I said, did you just tear your pectoral muscle? She goes, I don't know. She just had surgery on her shoulder and it's all healed up, ready to go. But she didn't know what happened in her chest. I said, just suck it up. It's fine. So she goes to the doctor today. They fear she tore her pectoral muscle in her upper area.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And what's even better, I said, Megan, have you seen what they look like? She goes, I think so. I go, remember Cody's? He completely tore us off the bone. Look at the photos. And she saw the bruising. She goes, I go, yeah, look at Paul's. Paul's was gross too.
Yeah.
And I said, and John did his, but there's not a whole lot of photos of John's. There's a lot of photos of Paul's and a lot of Cody's. And she goes, well, how long's the recovery? I went, well, for a normal human like them, like 6 to 9 months.
They're not normal humans.
For us peons in the world,
for us normal humans,
a year. It's going to take you a year.
Yeah. With
physical therapy, with the surgery. They have to dive into your chest and do all that. And she goes, no. I go, yeah. So she's feared that she possibly has torn her pectoral muscle in her right shoulder. Yeah. Well, it sucks. I won't lie. It's not like we laugh, and Megan will laugh at this later. But wow. Anyways, damn. So, anyways, we'll go back to the presser. The weird thing that I didn't like was that they after the panel at the beginning, they had Pat and Michael Cole on the stage and awkwardly standing to the side. There wasn't any interviews. It was just they kind of announced things. It was awkward.
Literally the opening segment of a Monday Night Raw, only it was 2 hours long.
And it was you had Becky reffing against your favorite mommy. Rhea. Who else?
Bianca was there.
Bianca came out and talked for like a hot second. And then the big one was Seth came out, Roman came out, Dwayne came out, Cody came out. And what I really liked, and this will be the banner on the YouTube, was the picture of the family tree. I thought, we always talk about how big the tree is, but when you see it, you don't realize how massive that tree is for the Anoa'i family. Huge.
Speaking of the Anoa'i family, it was announced today that, Zilla Fatu is back in Reality of Wrestling and recently teamed with his cousin, Jacob.
Oh, we can't wait for Jacob Fatu to finally show up. I can't wait
for either one of them.
Jacob Fatu has been, doing it a little bit longer than,
Dude's a beast. If you haven't...
Who's his father?
Seen Jacob's dad, I believe, is... it's not Umaga, because Zilla is Umaga's son.
We'd have to look at the tree. Because he's on the tree. They mentioned him on the tree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names on that tree. But anyways, yes, Reality of Wrestling. I like it. There's going to be another acquisition for TKO down the road, possibly.
Well, I think Reality of Wrestling is already loosely associated with WWE.
Well, it's like Booker T's whole group of people down there, too.
That's Reality of Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, speaking of Booker.
King Booker!
So what I liked about the presser, No, he hasn't.
Anyway,
don't crack.
Mm-hmm.
What I liked about the presser literally was what WWE Universe did was changed the outlook of the future of the main event of WrestleMania.
They also changed the outlining of Cody's jaw
with a powerful brown fist.
It wasn't even
powerful brown hand.
Open hand slap to the face.
There were some things that we always say, was it real or was it staged? I think some of that
slap was 100% real. He slapped the piss out of Cody.
And Cody took every bit of it. And
but he did.
Yeah, he did. And the better part was, I love that Seth. I don't know why Seth was even there. Two, he was a little pissed off.
Yeah,
he was mad.
He went in. He just kind of cut loose.
He cut more loose than I've ever heard him cut loose before. The last time I heard him cut loose was when he, told Matt Riddle to quit being a bitch.
Bye, bitch. Yeah, no, that, and they're referring to it as the slap heard around the world.
It was a good slap.
It was a
good. Oh my lord! It's
baby Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Goodness gracious!
Look how small he looks there. Jesus. Anyway,
what we're viewing is a
backstage promo.
An Edge with shortish hair and a baby Drew with no beard and lack of definition based off what he is now.
He's got a little bit of chub.
Well, he doesn't have the traps in his shoulders either. He's got traps, but the newer Drew, he's got traps. Also, Drew's shirt.
It's great.
Nice.
He got fined for that.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
Adam Pearce told him last week when he wore it, if I see you wearing that shirt again, I will fine you. He fined him on Monday for wearing that shirt. Drew's like,
it's fine.
Yeah.
That shirt's great.
I love it.
It's probably a number one seller.
It's probably not on WWE Shop either.
Well, I think it is. I think it is. I truly think that WWE right now will market anything that is hot and happening. 27. What happened at WrestleMania 27?
No one cares.
I do. I love.
Do you?
I do. I will go back and watch old WrestleManias, but I love Elimination Chamber is like one of my second favorite. It's it's out there.
Yeah, that's on the website.
Yeah, I figured that. I had a feeling. So let me ask you this: while we're on the topic of Cody and Roman and Rock, so obviously Cody made his decision.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is officially facing Roman for the title at. Yeah, I saw that too. They sell anything,
but it's a Tops.
Yeah, they have Tops. They have Tops cards.
Good Christ.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm still. Well, no, I'm waiting for Panini. I don't think it's ever going to get redeemed.
Hey, Panini.
You think that it's ever going to get redeemed?
Probably fucking not.
Oh, if you're a brand new listener to this show, what I acquired right after the death of Wyndham Rotunda in a Panini pack, they have wrestling cards. What are you looking at?
What
are you looking at?
WWE Shop.
Oh, fair. Panini had a thing of WWE stuff, and I, in a break, got a redemption card of Bray Wyatt, and it's an autograph to be redeemed later, and he was supposed to sign and get redeemed. But at this time, no one knows if he ever got the chance to sign the cards, if he ever got a chance to do anything with it. So I sit and wait. Hopefully, Panini doesn't screw anybody in this moment.
Yeah.
Even though I have a feeling it will
kind of fucked
happen. Unfortunately, it's due to the circumstances of death. So you can't do much about it. So
Right.
wow, young Wade Barrett too. Holy Lord. Anyways, random night. What do you think of Cody versus Roman Part 2?
I definitely think that it was the right call. God damn, that is a sexy title belt. Uh-huh.
It's really weird. It's like they try to win championships.
I mean, realistically, this is where we saw it going.
Well, America, the world, all said Cody versus Roman 2, this is what we wanted, but we also were wanting Rock versus Roman for the head of the table too. And when Rock came out and hugged Cody on SmackDown, and it was like that exchange of, okay, well, hand the reins off, go. And now you've got this is like pristine. Everybody hates on The Rock back in the 90s all over again after Nation of Domination. Timeout?
I think I have a receipt somewhere.
It's on the floor. It's right down there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, that's right. Turn the Rock heel. Called that shit.
Yeah, that was last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Turn the Rock heel.
Yeah. Check those receipts. Cha-ching! Wait, hold on. He called it. It's really... Wow. I love this. By the way, yeah, it's just great. I think, we did call it. You called it, for sure. Yeah. Turn the Rock heel. But I still don't see where they're going to go with it. I don't. Because now that Cody has changed, and are you just adding Rock to the bloodline for the next 3 months?
So, hear me out.
No.
Night 1.
Okay.
Rock versus Roman.
For the head of the table.
Tribal combat.
Ooh.
For head of the table and the belt. Hold on.
For the belt?
Hold on. Hear me out.
For the belt.
Hear me out.
Okay. It's going to be hard.
Jimmy and Solo come out.
Okay.
No contest. Double disqualification. Because they come out and they... Not only do they stomp The Rock, but they stomp Roman too.
Okay.
So, after the match, Rock is lit up. He's pissed off because Roman didn't follow the rules of tribal combat, right?
Okay.
End show.
So that's the end of night 1 going into Sunday.
So night 2, we get Cody versus Roman for the belt.
No.
Jimmy and Solo come out again to ruin the finish. Here comes The Rock to save the day.
But actually?
He stomps out Jimmy and Solo.
Okay, so he eliminates the family.
And while this is all happening, I'm literally giving you the end of the story.
This is the finishing of the
story.
This is the story.
So, finish of the match. Roman goes for a spear. Cody counters it, turns it into a crossroads. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. End of story.
Cody wins.
Yep.
Gets the title.
Yep. So, I got the receipt.
So you're telling me we need to clip this,
Yeah.
hold on to this,
Yeah.
save it, put it in a pocket,
Yeah.
leave it for later.
Yeah.
So when I do all the things later, I have it holding on to it that at this moment right now, Garrett Galvin on February 15th,
Yeah.
you called the main event to both nights of WrestleMania.
And I feel like Seth is probably going to have a match prior to Rock Roman on night 1. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know who the challenger is going to be because the elimination chamber is next week.
Yes.
So,
and we only have like a couple people that have qualified so far. So not everybody has qualified.
No, there's 4 men that have qualified.
Yeah, we don't have everybody yet.
Right.
Almost there.
That's Friday.
Friday.
Because what is it? LA Knight.
Yep.
Lashley.
Yep.
McIntyre. And some other schmuck.
Something like that.
I don't remember who else.
Something like that. And I think there's a women's one too for Rhea's belt.
Yeah.
Because obviously now we've got positive Bailey. We've got happy Bailey back. Now,
she's a hugger.
Do we get hugger Bailey back at WrestleMania?
I want to see the wacky.
Do you want to see the side pony?
Yep, 80s side
giant inflatables.
Yep, wacky waving arm inflatable.
Wacky waving inflatable arm inflatable 2-man.
Yeah.
Emporium.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
I just want to
stop us now. We celebrate on the floor. We all ready to go. Can you imagine that at fucking WrestleMania?
The fuck did
That's
you just
what
say?
That's a song that she has or had.
Stop. Just stop.
We're getting ready to go.
Don't acknowledge him. Don't acknowledge him.
Oh! I saw
The Undertaker!
I saw Teddy!
But anyway, so...
Oh,
but yeah, I think... So Seth will be the co-main event on night one. I think we'll probably get a U.S. title match night one.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Intercontinental match or night
two. Oh my God, it's Paul White.
No, that's the Big Show.
No, that's Paul White.
Big Show.
Big what?
Show.
Oh.
Wiener.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
Anyway, so...
Drake?
I mean...
Oh, the things that go over social media.
Anyway, we will get a heavyweight championship each night. We'll have a secondary title match each night. We'll have a women's title match each night. Now,
do they split the tag team titles?
I think they should.
But when? When do they do it?
Next Saturday.
They do it at Elimination Chamber?
Why not? So
as of right now,
it's a good thing Wade Barrett's wearing dark shorts.
Dude, so let's see. So that is it's DIY.
No, it's Pete Dunne and Mustache Mountain Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Bate.
Mm-hmm. Versus
Senior Money in the Bank and the Demon Finn Balor.
Do they lose it?
I don't know.
Well, as of right now, we're not going to see a cash-in until WrestleMania.
At least.
He's not going to he won't cash in an Elimination Chamber.
We don't know that.
There's no titles. There's no big titles being placed at Elimination Chamber.
We don't know that.
So you're telling me that you're going to see Seth go out there and start talking, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden...
Then Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere, jumps him.
And clobbers him in the face with a giant boot.
Glasgow Kiss.
Giant... Oh, God. Yeah! Ow, neck. Ooh, snappy. Anything can happen, obviously, with premium live events. But the thing is, this next premium live event in America, in the Central Time Zone, is at 5 a.m. on a Saturday.
I was listening to 83 Weeks.
You listened to 83 Weeks?
Yesterday.
You listened to 83 Weeks?
Yes.
Why? Why?
Because this podcast is only so long. Anyway.
Oh.
So, Eric and Conrad were talking about Money in the Bank coming up soon, right?
Obviously after Mania.
And they're like, how crazy would it be to have two men's Money in the Bank case holders? I was like, you can't. It's not possible.
It's 24 hours. It's a 365 days. Yep. That's it, to the day.
And I'm just like, I'm in the car yelling, like, no!
Can't happen!
You can't do that!
On this day.
Does he see clearly?
Possibly.
Okay. But I was just like, come on, guys.
Don't do that. It'll hurt.
There's nothing up there. It's okay.
It's just empty?
Yeah.
Like
there are two brain cells up there fighting for dominance right now.
I'll tell you right now, my poor brain still hurts from Sunday. I don't know if I told you what happened to me on Sunday.
No. Did you bonk your head?
Oh, Hazel won.
Hazel won?
Hazel Hazel.
Did she headbutt you?
Hazel won. I'll say the story. Hazel won. She beat me. So it's before the Super Bowl. I was in the kitchen doing the dishes. So just prepare, like think about comfy clothes. Got socks on. So I'm in the kitchen putting things away. I have the cabinets open, and Hazel's like in the kitchen with me. She's pulling on my shirt, and we're just moving around. And so I was like, okay, putting this away, playing around. Ha ha ha. Austin's in here doing something. Austin things. And I had a pan in my hands, and I go to like just start moving, and Hazel pushes, and I had a cabinet open. So I, in socks, go woo, and I hit so hard, I fall, I knock out, I'm gone. Like I'm drop pan, hit the ground, boom, big fat boom, big boy, bad boom, 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 and Hazel single-handedly pushed me forward on accident, not on accident. Hit my I hit my head.
Lights out.
Went down. I wasn't out long, but I was out long enough that I don't remember standing back up, and I'm holding my face. And at this point, I look, and Hazel's not there. She's gone. She's long gone. And all I hear is Austin. What was that? And I go, you want to come check? He goes, and his response, nah.
Fucking kid's a savage.
And I go, buddy, I dropped a pan. He goes, that's what that loud sound was? He said, no, that was my giant body hitting the floor first, and then it was the pan. And I have further proof that I know in my heart, I know I got
go to sleep.
I got a concussion from my daughter on Sunday. And to further prove it, there's my eyeball.
Oh, holy shit.
To the viewer experience, my eye was not there. I was gone. I lost to a 6-year-old with a baby push, and I have a dent right here. So since that moment, I have been battling a concussion since Sunday. So, to my awesome daughter, good job, Hayes. You win. Dude, it was bad.
What was that segment from that Kevin Hart skit? You want to go night-night?
Oh, I went night-night. And what's worse is that she felt so bad. She was sitting here, she was crying. And she goes, I said, Hazel, come here. She goes, are you mad that it happened? And I go, I'm not mad.
I'm kind of impressed.
My exact words were, ow.
His exact words were,
dude, I kid you not, Monday, so I was on the phone talking with people, and I purposely made a point not to talk really much, just trying to keep the brain, fully together.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, 5 o'clock, most of the staff leaves, so it's just me and Eddie at the end of the night. And I was starting to take phone calls. I've had concussions.
Right.
At one point, I'm talking to I'm like, oh, sir, this is great, sir. Whoa.
Are you drunk?
And the guy, and I'm pretty sure he probably just went, oh, they hired the special. Oh, that's so nice. And I said to him very nicely, sir, I'm not going to lie. I'm currently battling a concussion. I'm going to send you this quote over email. I'll talk to you in the morning. And he goes, not a problem.
We'll sauce him in the morning.
And sauce him. So, hey, Hazel won. So for the rest of the evening, it was really dark in the apartment. And rightfully so. So good job, Hazel. You win. That was just...
What were we talking about before? I think we should just move on to something else. I don't even know
what we were talking about. If we, we were talking about injuries, and we were talking about what can happen at Money in the Bank, with having 2 briefcases, and you kept on laughing because you're mad. And go.
Oh, I was pissed. I was screaming.
Why were you mad?
I was literally yelling at Eric Bischoff.
Did he hear you?
No!
Oh.
Because it was a recording from Sunday. He could not hear me because he's
somewhere
Cody,
else.
Wyoming.
Well, with that being said, for the auditorial listeners, we will be right back. It didn't break loose. Like when I was pulling on it, somebody hit the car from the top and it went boop, 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 boop. And I wasn't paying attention. I had bent down to go grab one of the tools off the little trays, and it went, and I got so pissed I grabbed it and threw it. And it slid and almost hit Dave in the shit. Old man Dave.
Could have crippled him.
You probably would have liked it.
Probably. Anyways, what's our next topic?
So.
By the way, welcome back.
Yes, true. So, I have things I thoroughly want to discuss. And they're always great. They are. I do a lot of digging and research throughout the week while also working.
Before we start this,
you should start something.
Remember, and this has been a few episodes ago, how I said that main event Jey Uso was going to get involved in the Intercontinental title picture?
You did. Did you find the receipt?
Uh-huh.
You checked that one off too?
New Day 1-ish?
Yeah. I do like the thought that he might beat Gunther, but I don't think he'll beat Gunther. I don't know who's gonna beat Gunther.
So what I think is probably gonna happen is they're gonna have a match. Obviously, they're having a match in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, next week.
Next Monday.
Next Monday they're having a match. But I think they're gonna run it back at Mania. So it'll be Gunther.
Oh God, Ray just died.
It'll be Gunther and Jey Uso at WrestleMania, and I think Jey beats him at Mania. And then Gunther wins Money in the Bank.
I don't know. I think Gunther, if he somehow, I doubt it, but if he loses the title on Monday, let's just say. Let's just say if he does, like if he loses the title on Monday, what if he qualifies for the men's elimination chamber and then gets the shot to beat Seth at Mania? There's a lot of variables that could happen.
It's a possibility.
There's a lot of possibilities. I don't see him losing it at a basic Monday Night Raw either, but whatever. Okay, so we all agree.
We do?
Humanoids, you, myself, we all agree
that we hate CM Punk.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that actually don't. It's kind of weird.
I don't need those people in my life, realistically.
It's a lot of people that listen to this podcast. Just saying.
Listeners, viewers, I apologize.
Also,
for your poor taste.
Random. I did have a customer. I was talking to a rep on the phone on Monday. This actually deals with the podcast. We were talking about UFC with UFC 300 coming up, and he goes, "Yeah, I also really love wrestling too." And I go, "Oh, I do a wrestling podcast." He goes, "No, you don't." I go, "Yeah, I do." And this is like totally off the cuff. I've talked to him before. I've never really had interactions. He goes, "Well, what's your podcast?" I said, "It's GQ Wrestling Podcast." He says, "Shut up." I go,
"He's a listener."
I said, "Okay, before we play this game." He goes, "No, really, I've listened to you guys." I go, "No." He goes, "No, really, I just started watching the videos on YouTube." So
that was Andy's entertainment when she was at her folks' place last week. She's like, "Send me the link for the YouTube."
Oh, well, it's a lot more fun to watch us talk.
I was like, "Okay,
here you go."
She's like, "It's almost like I was there just hanging out with you guys, listening to you talk.
Just wait.
Just like old days."
So, oh my God. That's true. When we would sit in those 2 giant recliner chairs and she'd be on the couch.
Yeah.
Yes. So we all agree in the last month and a half now, a lot has occurred.
There's a lot of shit.
So there was some people that I have followed on the Instagram that have laid it out for me. And you just bask in the glow of what all has occurred in wrestling, not just WWE, in wrestling. Are you ready? Your eyes look like how I have a concussion on Sunday.
Yes.
So, we had the Vince McMahon allegations. Vince McMahon resigning from WWE and TKO. Vince McMahon federally investigated. Brock Lesnar removed from everything in WWE. Seth Rollins suffering all the injuries in the world. Jade Cargill making her WWE debut. Naomi returning to WWE. Jordan Grace at the Royal Rumble. Bayley winning the Royal Rumble and Damage Control breaking up. Cody Rhodes winning his second straight Royal Rumble. CM Punk making his in-ring debut. CM Punk injuring less than a month after his in-ring debut. 6 months and he's gone for 6 months. The Rock named to TKO's board. The Rock challenging Roman Reigns to WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes trending worldwide for 1 whole week straight. Hashtag we want Cody. Mercedes Moné announced and booked for an entire venue for her debut in AEW. Because
she hasn't officially,
but we all know it's her.
She hasn't officially been.
But what
if it's the Rainmaker?
Yeah, it's not. Kazuchika Okada leaves New Japan Pro Wrestling.
But what if it is?
Scott D'Amore fired from TNA Impact. And Rosie Ogawa leaves Stardom. And that is just the main high tier of things that have happened. Oh, also, Moose wants to leave TNA Impact because of Scott D'Amore's firing.
So, I was listening to My World podcast, right? So, and obviously, Jeff Jarrett, founder of TNA,
to whom we have not seen on AEW television in quite some time.
Conrad was trying to get his opinion about the Scott D'Amore leaving.
Yeah.
And Jeff straight up called it. He's like, there's a lot of people that are there that stayed there
just because of him.
Scott D'Amore.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to see a pretty big exodus of people from Total Nonstop Action Wrestling because of one man being removed.
So that begs the question, obviously the big name is Jordan Grace and Moose.
They're both going to leave.
So where will Moose go?
I think Moose...
I don't think he's made for WWE. I think he's made for indie work.
I mean, he's big.
I know he is.
And he can move.
Yes. He's very agile for the size that he is.
He is a big, meaty man. Slapping meat.
Dude, that's another shirt that we should have. Big, meaty men slapping meat.
We'd have to give royalties to Big E, though.
That's fine. He's from Iowa.
But anyway,
he's an Iowa boy.
So, another thing.
People just died.
They're going to start losing people left and right.
Well, the bad part is that Moose just re-signed only because of Scott, and there's no clause for him to get out.
Well, and they just brought in Nick Namath.
Yeah.
And they just brought in AJ Francis.
Mm-hmm.
The Motor City Machine Guns are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would love to see Motor City Machine Guns in AEW.
I've seen them in AEW.
I'd like to see them and the Young Bucks go at it. Matthew and Nicholas.
The new version of the Young Bucks?
Sure. Why not?
So, it's really funny speaking of them. There was a lot of talk that no one asked for them to be heels again.
A lot of chatter.
You know what's really funny about that? They did exactly what we said they should do months ago. Go back and listen. We said embrace the hate. Embrace everything when it comes to the Punk releasing. Make it you. Make it your fault. Make it, you know what? We fired him. We're the ones that, Oh, wow. Hold on. Do you have a Rolodex? Oh yes, thank you.
Check that receipt.
I think it's funny though is that they've been gone for a while, and I think it was mainly for health things. Make sure they get their bodies back in check.
Yeah,
Obviously, mourning Kenny, because you do lose your best friend to a really hard injury that we don't know when he'll ever see him back. Um, I think it was really ironic this past Wednesday that they wore their bloody suits from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Stains and all still there from the previous week. I think that's going to be the best thing to have them back on television, because right now AEW is still lacking production, even though they did get an award this week for #1 rated program between the hours of 8 and 10.
So they're also getting a new set.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Again? They just updated it like a year ago.
I don't know.
Are they going to go back to the WCW orbs?
No.
Because that's exactly what those were. The old hallways.
No, those were TNA.
Was that TNA hallways? Mm-hmm. Either way.
Yeah, heels came out one side, faces came out the other. But yeah, no, they're... Tony Khan posted about it yesterday.
That they're going to redo the sets again?
Yeah. Like, completely.
They look at the budget that they put, and I've been to three AEW house shows now. The first one was the double barrels. Mm-hmm. The second one I think is still double barrels, and then the third one was the brand new set that has the giant LED screens and everything like that. And I was very impressed with the new one. That I'm like, okay, this will be around for a while. No need to change it. But evidently, Mr. Khan believes that at this moment in time, they are struggling to keep an audience and to put butts in the seats, so maybe change it up again. I don't know. I find it ironic that obviously we know when you're not there, you're not being talked about. Obviously, you're not on screen, you're not talking. Is there anybody out there that actually misses seeing Maxwell Jacob Freeman on a weekly basis? I do. I really do. I miss seeing that man on every single week.
I mean, there's a lot of people that we haven't seen on
AEW.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that every single week it's just Swerve versus Hangman?
Swerve versus somebody.
We haven't seen Keith Lee in a long time. We haven't seen like you just mentioned Jeff Jarrett. We haven't seen him and his crew in a long time.
So Wednesday has essentially become the Blackpool Combat Club show.
You mean Friday?
What?
You mean Rampage?
No. Dynamite.
On Dynamite?
Yeah. There's always at least one match with a member of the BCC in it. Oh,
Blackpool. Nah, I was thinking Malachi's group. I apologize. Yes, it is true. It's always John. John's always there in a match. Pepperoni Nipples is usually there every once in a while.
Yeah.
Currently, he needs some milk. Is over in New Japan doing something stupid. Like he just did a match recently with Zack Sabre Jr. again. Like it's, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I want AEW to succeed. Their next pay-per-view is Revolution, which is the week, 2 weeks after. It's a week after Elimination Chamber.
2 weeks after.
Is it 2 weeks after? 2 weeks after Elimination Chamber. I'm excited for it. I hope, like they just announced Bill. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, I almost said your name.
Bill Ocean.
No!
Spray. You almost said Bill Ocean Spray. Ha! Ha! I'm in his head. It's great.
Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita. Wow, I hate you. Finally that's his introduction into AEW. He just wrestled this last match.
It's really funny though because they're both part of the Don Callis family. So how? I'm really confuzzled.
To be fair, I would be too. It is what it is. I'm finally happy that they're going to get him in there. It's a name.
LOL AEW.
Honestly.
So we've moved on from LOL TNA to LOL AEW.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's that. There has been a poll out there. Humanoids.
Fireman's pole?
People dance on poles.
Stripper pole?
True. That there's a thing out there that, usually WrestleMania the last several years has been hosted by someone. I think last year The Miz hosted it.
Yep.
Which we got to see the debauchery of Shane McMahon's pour his quad.
He poured his quad?
He poured his quad. It was bad. Shades of his father.
Tore it.
It was bad.
Not pour it.
It was bad.
Tore it.
It was bad.
He didn't pull it.
It was bad.
Ripped that motherfucker.
And then, Snoop Dogg, coming in and doing whatever he needed to do. Just cold clocking him.
Clock the Miz.
There's been, a couple of years of different hosts. The New Day hosted 1 year. Alexa hosted 1 year. Miz has hosted a couple times.
Speaking of Alexa Bliss, did you see the newest Taylor Rotunda video?
I did.
Mentioning Alexa Bliss?
I did. I'm telling you,
folks,
it's going to be good. It's going to be great.
You know what? So everybody says, "Oh, Raw after WrestleMania is the best show of the year." Well, first of all,
it used to be.
Raw after WrestleMania last year was
the worst.
It was the dumpster fire.
It was literally the worst.
I think the NXT after WrestleMania this year is going to be when he comes back.
Well, because we know Braun Breaker is going to get called up, so he'll be on Monday Night Raw.
I think it'll be him and Corbin, both.
Yeah. I think they'll bring the tag. I think they'll bring the NXT titles with them too to have it on. So they'll do both shows until they lose it to somebody down in NXT. I think they'll have it for a little bit of time,
or they'll do a combining of the tag titles like they did with the women's.
True. Carmelo Hayes probably will get called up as well.
Yeah.
I think Trick will stay. I think Ilya Dragunov will stay.
I don't think so.
You don't think think they're going to get called up?
I think Ilya loses the belt
to Trick, and Trick stays
during WrestleMania week.
Yeah, during which there's probably some NXT pay per view on Friday.
I think I want to say Stand and Deliver
PLE on Friday.
Friday
or Saturday morning. They did that. They did a Saturday. They remember that they did back to back kind of a thing.
But yeah, I think Ilya will lose the belt to Trick, and Ilya will get called up to become the newest member of Imperium.
You want to print that receipt out real quick?
Yeah, it's there.
You're gonna click it.
It's there.
People have been petitioning and hosting for 2 hosts for WrestleMania.
God, I hope not.
One by the name of John Cena, and the other by the name of CM Punk.
5 Bill Phil.
Wouldn't it be interesting if it was those 2 hosting WrestleMania?
I really, really hope not.
Why not? Why not?
John would be fine.
Okay.
I don't want to see 5 Bill Phil out there with his
bionic
arm, listening to him piss and moan and complain about, "Oh, I got hurt and I missed my WrestleMania opportunity." Shut up.
It's so funny.
That's what happens when you don't fucking do the work.
Well, this isn't his first time doing it. He did it at AEW. Same injury, same arm. So maybe it's just your old age just catching up with you. I don't know. Like he went off pretty hard during that the kickoff to WrestleMania show. Like he went off like a lot and pissed off The Rock from the stage. If you never saw that clip, he was saying some stuff and he goes, "Who cares about The Rock at all?" And The Rock from the stage, you see him snap his neck and look right at it. Well, Rock was the last person that did anything to Punk that was worth a while all those years ago. I also saw something this past week that says this: Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Jey Uso are lost on the rosters. There's too many top-tier talent in WWE. They need a third premium show.
Well, and that's I mean, it's not an incorrect statement.
They have a lot of talent.
But especially where Sami Zayn is concerned, this time last year,
biggest push of his life.
He was the hottest talent in that company.
Yeah, because this right around this time is when he went against the Bloodline and is officially going for the main event at the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
He turned at Rumble.
Yes, when he did the Rock. Sorry, when he used the chair against Roman.
And then he got his main event when they were in Quebec for Elimination Chamber, I believe, last year. It was either Elimination... No.
It was the last one before.
It was Jay at Elimination Chamber, and it was Sami at Fastlane.
Fastlane, yeah, because he had the premium live event against Roman and lost.
Yeah.
And then that's when him and Kevin started tag teaming, and that's when they beat the Usos at WrestleMania Night 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a lot of talent, obviously, on any show. Any wrestling promotion, there is always a top-tier amount of talent. You have the guys that are currently in the limelight, and then you have the second-tier guys that are ready to go, and then you have the third-tier guys that are in the back waiting for their moment to shine.
Hanging out and catering.
Exactly. And where WWE is concerned right now is, there is a lot of top-tier talent, and they don't know what to do with them. So that's what they did with like Finn. They had no idea what to do with Finn. Put him in a faction. And now he's thriving. Great. Usos. The Usos. Well, they were the best thing in the whole wide world. Split them up. Okay.
Jay is thriving. Jimmy is drowning.
Jimmy has turned into that lackluster talent in the back of his fucking brother's more talented than he is, and he's not even done any wrestling longer than him.
He is this generation's Savio Vega. Or not Savio Vega. D'Lo Brown. When the nation split, Jimmy still wrestled and stuff, or D'Lo still wrestled. So does Jimmy, but they're not in the spotlight anymore because the faction that they're in is dying.
Well, it's even funnier when you go back and look when Jimmy disappeared and then came back. His pop wasn't as big when he hit Jay, and even like at Rumble, there was that cool moment with Jimmy and Jay being 1 and 2. That was pretty awesome. But also, look who lasted longer.
Yeah.
Look who has the bigger push, and then even better, you create a catchphrase that goes viral, and then your brother,
no
yeet. Like, come on, like,
and
get better.
And it's really funny because Jimmy didn't actually coin that.
No, he didn't.
No yeet.
That was the Vine.
It was Roman.
It was also, go back to the Vine days. This bitch empty. Yeet. And then, yes, Roman did do it. But because Jay was a little tipsy after a premium live event with Cody Rhodes, and he's sitting at the table in the back doing his presser. Yeet. Yeet. Children, drink responsibly.
Don't listen to that.
Don't listen. No. Listen.
Drink to your heart's content.
Just
don't drive.
Yes. Do that. Do you
Drink
believe
to your heart's desire?
Do you believe there should be a
not get behind the wheel.
Do you believe there's a third show and not named NXT?
Yeah.
What's your third show?
Fucking Endeavor could buy Impact and make, for the love of fuck, do not don't you dare sully the good goddamn name of ECW ever fucking again.
You know it's there.
Oh, it's there.
You know it's
brewing. But it's not going to happen.
You know it's brewing.
Paul Heyman would be pissed.
You know it's brewing.
I do have one brewing, actually.
You know it's sitting there, stewing in the fire. Like, they're stoking it right now. They're like,
I doubt
let's add a log in there.
Well, it'd probably be... They're going to bring back Velocity.
I got it. Saturday night main event.
Shotgun Saturday night.
Oh,
Go head to head with Collision, baby. Let's go.
Everybody can go ahead with Collision and win.
Or
Saturday.
Or Heat.
Saturday.
Sunday Night Heat.
Oh, I can't. Remember how bad that television was back then?
I loved Heat.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody liked Heat.
I loved Heat.
Why? Because you're. Oh, why? Why?
Because it was wrestling and it was on Sunday. That was the point in time where there was literally wrestling on every night of the week except for Tuesdays.
Do you remember when it was Thursday night SmackDown?
Yeah. Stupid.
There was never Tuesday night SmackDown. It was always Thursday night.
It was Thursday or Friday. It'll be really interesting to see where USA puts them.
I think. Well, what NXT? Where's NXT going? NXT's leaving
CW.
too. Huh?
They're going to CW, but they'll still be on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm. And then Wednesdays will always be. I think they should go head to head with fucking Dynamite. Just let them go.
SmackDown?
Yeah, why not? Why not? At that point, you get two options of wrestling on a Wednesday again. Why not?
I don't like that.
You just want everybody to be cohesive.
Wrestling
is wrestling.
Yes.
Like you said a while back,
yeah.
Wrestling is wrestling.
I mean, are they going to start the Saturday Night Wars? Right.
Your vibrator turned on.
Hockey game. Jesus, Tampa Bay fucking stomped the Avalanche tonight.
Well, it's Tampa Bay.
6-3.
It's Tampa Bay.
True.
So, I agree. There should be a third one.
Branding, I have no fucking idea.
Honestly, at that point. So,
Tuesday Night Titans.
That sounds like something sponsored by The Rock.
Probably.
So, at the age of 26,
Braun Breaker is a beast.
Braun Breaker has dominated NXT more than some might say than a young Adam Cole. There has been polls out there that the accolades of Braun Breaker equivalent or more than Adam Cole.
Who's voting in these polls?
So
have these people never watched the original black and gold brand?
I'm just saying.
I'm just
saying. I don't shoot the messenger. Hate the people that have voted. Because this is what Braun Breaker has done. I will pull up Adam Cole's statistics as well, but I'll tell you what Braun has done. Braun Breaker has held the NXT Championship twice for a total of 424 days. That is a long time. You have to admit that is a long time. He has won his second NXT title on an episode of WWE Raw. That is, he has won the Dusty Rhodes Classic this year with his tag team partner of Baron Corbin. He has main evented 9 NXT Premium Live events, and he has also won the War Games match. Is Braun Breaker better than Adam Cole in his prime of NXT?
No, he is not.
That was really quick response, sir. You didn't have time to think. You should think about it more.
Why?
Just think about it more. Did you think about it?
Yeah.
Do you agree that he is better?
That Adam Cole's better? Yes.
No. Braun Breaker.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Because NXT was literally the Adam Cole and Undisputed Era show for well over a year and a half.
He and the Undisputed Era were 2 years of 2017 through 2019.
Mm-hmm.
2 years of
dominance in NXT.
Dominance, you say?
Yes.
Dominance. Really? So, is accolades, let me see if I can get them all correct. I want to make sure at the time, Adam Cole was the longest reigning NXT champion of all time at the time. Now, obviously, that has changed because Braun has beaten his record of equivalated days.
But Adams was a single reign
of one whole year.
Yeah.
2019 through 2020. He beat Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, and Malachi Black, and Matt Riddle in a fatal four-way to face Johnny Gargano for the vacant NXT title, and won a 2 out of 3 falls match against Gargano at TakeOver New York. So from that day till a year later, had won everything. And then obviously the implosion of the Undisputed Era in 2020. Were you really a fan of the Rainbow NXT?
No, I stopped watching NXT for a while.
I'm sorry, what is going on right now? Jerry Lawler versus The Miz for the championship?
Yeah.
What year are we in?
This would have been...
So WrestleMania 27.
This would have been 2011?
We're at WrestleMania 40?
Yeah, 2011.
So, yeah, 13 years ago?
Yeah, 2011.
Criminy.
Matt Stryker.
The teacher.
Wow.
So, speaking of Elimination Chambers, we have it on in the background. Jade Cargill has been recently pulled from any Elimination Chamber plans.
Aw, shucky darn.
Shucky ducky?
No, I said shucky darn.
You know, I wish I could put that on a t-shirt, but I'm pretty sure Booker T wouldn't like it.
We just pay him royalties too.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
But, I mean, if anyone is surprised by the fact that she was removed from anything to do with Elimination Chamber, you shouldn't be. Shouldn't be surprised by that because she wasn't ready.
She's not ready for a weekly basis episodic show.
She's not ready for really like actual in-ring competition.
You know,
on this level.
So when we were watching her in AEW, we even said for years that she was the equivalency to Goldberg, where you can only have her in there for maybe less than 5 minutes. She's only good for 2 moves, and that's it.
Greener than goose shit.
That's pretty green.
Yeah.
And then when you had to put her in a match, kind of like what WWF did back in the day, WCW did, and put in the best down person in a ring with William Regal and forced Goldberg to do a match.
Steven Regal.
Still forced him to do a match and make him, actually wrestle and prove that Goldberg was not a wrestler. He was a
football player.
Exactly. Oh, Booker. So then you put Jade Cargill against some of these ladies that were wrestling for quite some time, let alone, like, I got to see Jade versus, oh God, what's her name? Johnny's wife.
Taya.
I got to see Taya versus Jade at a house show in Kansas City. And Taya, who's been doing it for a hot minute, made Jade look like a fool.
Yeah, wrestled circles around her.
And yet couldn't beat Jade for the title. You have nothing to say about that?
It's because they didn't want to beat her.
That was me.
No, I know. I'm just looking over.
It's over there hanging out.
Who? So I see Trish on the screen. Who have they announced any Hall of Famers for this year?
Oh my God, this is tough enough. So no, they have not. But as well as I do, that they don't start announcing Hall of Famers until right around after Elimination Chamber. They start announcing it like the Monday Night Raws. I would say about a month and a half before WrestleMania, so they start solidifying spots. There are a couple names that obviously should be there. Obviously, one, the most shining one that needs to be a Hall of Famer, Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda. He should be not headlining it, but he should definitely be a part of this one. You know what WWE should do? Put in his brother, a part of the Wyatt family that has not recently, but has passed on as well. Why not? Add in Brody Lee. It's not Brody Lee here. It'd be what Eric Rowan
or no
Luke Harper. Add Luke Harper in there. Add a 2-person, and then have Eric Rowan do their induction.
So I'm Eric Redbeard.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this list from Sportster.
I like the Sportster.
Batista.
Dave is worthy. For 3 years now, we thought it was good. Dave should have been in for 3 years.
It's been on pause. Yep.
Last year, it should have been Dave, but they made it Ray.
So we always do a legendary figure from outside of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Ali.
Well, so with their recent announcement that they put Muhammad Ali in the new WWE 2K game and made it very clear that he was going to be in his garb for the game, I think that's not a bad idea. You know, they put him in the celebrity wing. I'm okay for that. I'm in for that. Who else do you have?
I like this one.
Okay.
Tommy Dreamer.
So I like that they are acknowledging it, but because he's still wrestling in other promotions, I don't think they will.
But they're going to be in Philly.
And I get that. Don't get me wrong. Why not add the other ECW guys in? You know, put Sandman, Sabu, put the originals all together. Think about that. You put Sandman, Sabu, Tommy Dreamer.
RVD's already there.
Yep, he's already in. He died last year or 2 years ago. Same year as Stone Cold. It's not a bad idea.
Michelle McCool. It's overdue.
Yeah. I can see that. Who else do you got?
The loose cannon, Brian Pillman.
He's on that list.
He is not on that list.
He's on a list that would keep him out.
WWE has recently reached a Legends deal with the Pillman estate.
Well, because they signed the son. They finally brought him out. He was on that list for a very long time.
But he's not anymore.
Santino.
Mickey James.
Wait. Is this when he had the title?
Santino and Kozlov, I think. Yeah.
Which, hey, the resurgence of Vladimir Kozlov, too.
Yeah.
He's back.
Mickey James.
It's hard because she's a part of what? She's part of TNA, right? No, she's Woman of Wrestling now. I don't know, because they're active in other promotions.
She's not wrestling.
No, but she's still an upper. I don't know. It's hard because
they have a good relationship with WoW.
Maybe it's just because it's the old Vince McMahon rule, where Vince wouldn't bring anybody in at all whatsoever because they're a part of other promotions. They're not involved. Not going to happen. But now it's TKO and Paul. They could probably see past it. Mickey is long overdue. I agree.
Well, especially with the addition of her husband to the company. Nick
Mr. Aldis, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ken Shamrock.
Man, he'd be a 2-time Hall of Famer. UFC and
this one would be awesome.
Holy crap.
This one would be awesome. However, this one will never happen. Demolition.
It will never happen.
Because of that lawsuit.
Yep. It'll never happen. The CTE lawsuit. The memory lawsuit. It'll never happen. I hated those titles.
I want with my
that was amazing.
With my entire soul, I want this one to happen.
Who?
Lex Luger.
You know in your heart the only way Lex will go in is when he's dead.
I don't think so. I think
if it's under the Vince McMahon rules, he wouldn't go until he's dead.
Well, it's a good thing Vince McMahon's not fucking around anymore.
No, he did that. He did a lot of that. That's why
in
he's
the WWE.
Oh, well, he did the other stuff too. I don't know. Yeah, obviously Lex is, he's been around. He's that guy. He was a highly credentialed, highly accoladed.
He was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan
until Booger Sugar got involved.
No, it was
his was Booger Sugar.
In 93?
I think so.
No.
What was it? I know he started doing drugs with Elizabeth.
That was after WCW.
He did drugs though.
Who didn't?
I don't know. I didn't do drugs.
Okay.
I don't do drugs.
Okay.
I've never done drugs.
Okay.
I've never. Okay. Don't point this picture at me. I've never done them.
Okay.
I've never done them.
Okay.
Okay. This paints an ugly picture.
I've never done drugs either.
Okay.
Right. Right. How's that glass house you're living in, bitch?
It's different. That's a different kind of drug that we're talking about here. Are you talking about
the fuck you mean?
Mary Jane doesn't count compared to the other. I've never done anything else besides Mary Jane.
Is it still an illegal substance in the state of Iowa?
I don't know. Because I've seen cannabis stuff at every store known to man. I've also seen people have their cards here too.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to get medical weed in this fucking state?
I actually don't know.
It is damn near impossible.
Oh, that's really funny.
Thanks, Kim.
Whoa. It's not a political podcast, sir. Calm down. Breathe a little bit.
I'm gonna paint you with the same brush that I paint myself with.
I'd rather not have something touch me like that. That's ew.
Same brush.
Gross.
Same brush.
So
same fucking brush.
Gross. So the last thing, actually yesterday, Mr. Nick Aldis made a big announcement.
On 8/7 Central only on Fox. I have some unfortunate news to kick things off. Shotzi is unfortunately injured and unable to compete, so we wish her the best in her recovery, but it does mean that opportunity knocks for another superstar, and that superstar is Alba Fyre.
So for the people of YouTube who could not hear my phone, thank you for the auditorials. Shotzi Blackheart is unable to wrestle, perform.
Who?
Shotzi? I love Shotzi. Tank, little tiny Tank.
It's not Shotzi Blackheart anymore.
That's what I'll forever call her.
Yeah.
She is injured, is unable to perform. So we get to see half of the tag team. With
the unholy union
of Alba Fyre will be a part of Friday Night SmackDown tomorrow night.
So I wonder if Isla Dawn is not medically clear.
I have a feeling that's the case. Because, when you have half a team, like the Viking Raiders, you have one guy wrestling. By the way, big, meaty men slapping meat. Holy God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Scary.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that he would qualify, but you put him in there with LA Knight.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Yeah, no, honestly,
Cobra?
Cobra.
Cobra!
So with, we have at least one more pod next week before Elimination Chamber, so we won't do any predictions tonight.
Right.
Which actually kind of segues into something that we talked about at the very beginning.
Is it Revolution?
Well, we did talk about that.
What did we talk about?
There's some announcement. We can hit rewind at the beginning. We said to stay at the end.
Oh, that thing.
We said to stay at the end to do some announcement.
So the announcement.
The announcement.
I am officially retiring from the sport of basketball. Undefeated.
What?
1-0. I'm gonna hang it up. I feel like it's a great time to retire. Let the young guys, get their.
What do you call basketball?
That was
Space
Jam.
What do you call it?
Bill Murray.
Yeah. What do you call basketball?
Basketball.
What do you call it?
Basketball.
What do you call it?
Basketball.
What do you call it?
I call it basketball.
There's no.
I don't call.
No.
I call it basketball. I don't call the people who
play
basketball. This sport.
What do you call it?
I don't call them basketball players.
What do you call
them? Pumpkin pushers.
Okay. Just want to make sure the people of the world understand.
Pumpkin pushers.
Just want to make sure the people understand.
Orange ball looks like a pumpkin. You're pushing it down the court. Anyway, so the announcement.
The announcement.
So since the inception of this podcast, we have recorded on Thursday nights.
It's just been the easiest night.
However,
until
tonight.
Actually, the last couple of weeks.
Tonight is officially the last podcast.
On Thursdays. Because we're moving.
We are moving to Wednesdays.
For a multitude of reasons. All good, too.
Because, so on Thursdays, we, earlier in the year, we had football on in the background, and we were reacting to the football game while we were recording.
It was a lot of fun.
You're able to watch us. So with the inception of the video side of the podcast,
yes,
we are actually moving to Wednesdays so we can do live reactions to Wednesday night Dynamite.
And honestly, it's been a great so far this last couple of weeks because we've been recording on Wednesdays and getting our natural reactions to Dynamite during the whole entire time.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Oh,
Alex
God.
Riley and Miz.
With,
I can't remember his name. Jonathan Gresham.
Yep. But anyway, so, and this will actually force me to watch Dynamite because I haven't been watching Dynamite. I've been reading the recap on
your phone,
on Bleacher Report
on your phone.
So,
and also with other news too, this will be the last time you see this setup too.
It will.
We are changing the setup.
News to me.
It's actually, I like the thought. I like our little couch thing, but I think with the progression of the podcast, the best thing for it is to adapt to the newer surroundings. So, with that being said, it's kind of like Tony Khan. It's time to change the design up a little bit. So, next week, we're going to have a little bit of a different, fresh take on the look of GQ Wrestling Podcast.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I've got ideas. It's great.
And a concussion.
It's still there. I can feel it right in the frontal lobe. I think there's going to be some good things coming around the corner for the GQ Wrestling Podcast. Plus, also, we now have our 5th shirt and final shirt, which, we saw it.
4.
Our GQ shirt.
Yep.
Who
needs pants?
Who needs pants? Drink some milk.
Go home, take a nap, drink some milk.
I came for the
boobs and butts and stayed for the wrestling.
4 shirts. So now that we have officially 4 shirts.
Didn't I fucking say that?
It's my brain.
Didn't I fucking say that?
4 shirts. Which now...
I fucking said that. 4. 4.
You don't know where that's been. You don't. You don't know where that's been.
That's your favorite lady!
Gross. I'm doing some research this next week.
We are?
Well, I am. We're going to get a shop up and get some shirts. Because I've had some people, we had a fan, Ryan, who was in Alabama, repped our shirt while they were down at the show.
He actually did a lot of the designs.
All the designs, our logo, and all the shirt designs, and the cup, and everything. It's been from Ryan. We appreciate all the help and support. So with that being said, we're going to try to utilize his abilities the best way possible. And throw that bad boy up. You're going to shout him out on the Twitter world?
Hold on.
This is where we do our check for his @ on the Twitter. he has single-handedly helped us with our logos and getting everything done.
So Ryan's Twitter is at the Rye Bar. So the THE capital RY capital BAR. He's come up with some great designs.
And and the logo, we pride ourselves in branding, and the logo we love very dearly, the black and gold aspect and just the way it looks. And so we are very appreciative for Ryan's work.
Yep.
So we thank you publicly, Ryan, on the podcast, on Twitter, on anything. And in honoring of that, we are going to make the shirts and as accessible as possible. So coming soon, I'm going to be doing some research this weekend to be able to get a shop up. And probably on TikTok, have a TikTok shop.
Probably just be TikTok shop.
And be able to do some shirts. Because why not be able to rep GQ Wrestling Podcast wherever you go? With that being said, it's the end of the podcast. We're really excited for the future. Hopefully soon we can be able to go to events, do some live things. I also, because you got to go to a place that I have yet to go to, that I think we should do a live recording at this place, in a place in Marshalltown.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work.
I don't either, but I think it would be an awesome thing to go to a wrestling restaurant and do a show at said wrestling restaurant. And if we're talking about that, it's called the Flying Elbow.
Yep.
In
The
Marshalltown.
Flying Elbow in Marshalltown, Iowa.
Free publicity, not sponsored whatsoever. But we would love to be able to go and do something live at the.
Let's see if I can find it on Twitter.
Yes, please. Gary, you were very impressed with the environment, the aesthetic, everything about it.
Dude, it was awesome.
And I actually was talking to somebody at work the other day, and they said, "Have you been to the Flying Elbow?" I said, "My co-host has. I have not. I would love to go."
So it's Flying Elbow Food on Twitter at Flying Elbow Food. These guys are.
You can speak.
Obviously, the food is amazing. They're just guys like us that started a food truck and eventually got a storefront. These guys are absolutely amazing. I just gave them a follow on Twitter
from the podcast page.
Well, from my personal page.
Gotcha.
But I'm also going to.
But we've got a lot of things cooking up for the future. 2024 is bright and big, and it's exciting. It's really good times. We've had a really good viewing on TikTok, a lot of good views on Instagram, a lot more interaction and everything. So we're really excited about that. So with that being said, it's the end of the podcast, like we do every single week. Give us a follow on all of our social medias. We have TikTok, which is at GQ A Wrestling Pod. On Instagram, GQ A Wrestling Podcast, all one word. You can also follow us on the X, aka the Twitter.
And that is at GQ A Wrestling Pod. It's literally the same handle for
TikTok.
Pretty much every platform.
Yep, except for Instagram, the only one that has podcast.
So it's GQ A Wrestling Pod. I got kind of lax on it. I had been posting on my personal TikTok about just the things going on with the podcast.
Right.
So yeah.
So you also, all the auditorial listeners, don't forget, we're out on the YouTube, baby. And you can follow us on GQ Wrestling Podcast on the YouTube and follow our little clips, because that is what makes and breaks us. Please share. That's the only way we can get our name out there as best as possible. And we're starting to get a little bit more out there and starting to get more exposure and other people in different states and listening to us. So please, again, share with your family, share with your friends. We would all love to be able to do more bigger and better things in the long run. It's a dream of ours to be able to someday, who knows, go to these presser events as GQ Wrestling Podcast as an independent and be able to make the money to go and see these premium live events in person and be able to travel and, it's just a dream. I listened to Chris Van Vliet the other day. He's been doing this for 8 years, and he's finally starting to gain the recognition he deserves, and all from just a hobby.
Yeah.
And now he's interviewing the best and the brightest in all realms of wrestling.
Well,
and,
I mean, look at Conrad Thompson.
Mhm.
Like he's got a giant mortgage business that's certified in all 50 states now.
Yeah.
And he's got a dozen, I think, podcasts, and he launched adfreeshows.com.
Yeah.
And they do video that like we're doing. Obviously, it's the production's probably a little better. But they do video casts with it's him and Eric, him and Jeff, him and Bruce, and I think him and Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But
we do this as a hobby, but also we do this as it's a fun outlet for us to share our passion for the business.
Yeah.
The business that we love and dear. And, right now we have been only mainly talking about WWE, but, obviously AEW is occasionally in there. TNA's in there. They're all going to start getting their little funnels around.
Yep.
But with that being said, people of the humanoid universe that we live in, we love this. We appreciate it. We're just two dudes in Iowa that get to be able to talk about wrestling on another night.
Yeah.
Did anybody ask?
You did.
Just you.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we're happy we're doing it. With that being said, we bid you adieu. We thank you little auditorial people, and you. We thank you. Good night and a little bit of a bang.